What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GG Gaming. I am your host, Andrew, and with me today I have Alpha Stoutland.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, it's just us today, just like old times.
It's so weird, man.
Yeah, Ryan couldn't make it, and I haven't heard from Papagenos yet, so we're always in a time constraint. I don't mean it like we don't want to wait for anyone, but we have this recording window between a 6:30 and an 8. So if one of the people are able to join in, then they join in during the episode. So yeah, if he can make it, then he'll join in. If he can't, then it's just the two of us today. So we missed recording last week because no one was able to make it. So hopefully we'll make up for it with quality this week. So the last thing we were talking about 2 weeks ago, I remember the last piece of news we spoke about. We were talking about the Brave in Smash.
Yep.
So there's some stuff in there I want to talk about, but before we get into that, what have you been up to?
Well, I finally sat down. I think I talked about getting Super Mario Odyssey for Christmas, and was busy playing Smash Bros. And working on videos, and so didn't really take time to just sit down and play it. But over the last few weeks, I've sat down and played it, and it is amazing.
Nice.
It's such a masterpiece of a game. I loved it every time I picked it up. It's one of those games you can pick up and do nothing and still enjoy, because it's great. The capture mechanics, the worlds, the power moon, some of them are tough to get, but just the story. I mean, the story's simple. I did like the Brutals. There's just a lot to like, and it's just a gorgeous game.
So
and there's just so many cool. I beat the main story. Yeah, I hadn't 100%ed it or anything. No, not that crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely not 100%ed it, because some of those power moons, I look at them like, you're like 5 times higher than I am in the air. How am I supposed to get you? Because like some of them are like in crazy locations. I still haven't figured out how to get that one in Sand Kingdom that's on the top of the floating pyramid that's over in the top corner. Not the one that's like...
Some of them you can't reach. You have to get there from other levels. There's teleports from other levels.
Okay, so it's in the paintings.
Yeah, because there was... I think every level has a painting to another level. So, and I think that they are sometimes random in each game. So there's no definitive, this level's painting goes to this level. So you have to kind of go through all of them and figure out which one goes to which level.
Cool. Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I know when I went to Cascade Kingdom with the T-Rex, one of the very first paintings I found took me to New Donk City. And halfway through the game you unlock it. And I was like, whoa, I'm in New Donk. And it was just for the power moon, so it was cool. Yeah. But I loved that town. I loved New Donk City so much. That Jump Up Superstar section was amazing, dude. It was so cool.
Yeah, so if you see a power moon that's kind of like out of the way and there's really no way to get it, it's most likely you're going to get there from a warp point. And you usually can't, I guess, see the painting you would come from, because most of the time, if not all the time, it's on the floor. So you can't see the floor from so far away. Yeah. So. Yeah, I got every power moon except for, the very last one on the darker side of the moon. That's just, I gave up with that one. Because I've heard that stuff. I got really far to this point where, I think I spoke about it at one point. I got to this part where you turn into, the bird thing that you can climb the walls with?
Yeah.
There's that thing. These rotating platforms that you have to jump from one to the other. And if you miss, you'll fall into a bottomless pit and die. Ooh. And it's too far into the obstacle course. So like you'll lose 10 minutes of your time.
Oh my goodness!
So after a few times, I just gave up.
Did you get all the costumes and stuff?
No, I didn't have enough coins for it.
Okay, I just bought the 8-bit Mario. I saved up enough, because by the time I beat the game, I had like 8,000 coins. I was like, man, I'll just go ahead and farm the rest. So, because I would buy a costume here or there, like I got the caveman suit. Well, that was the purple coins anyway. But I bought a couple here and there. But I was saving it up for like the skeleton costume and that. to go ahead and get them out of the way, and then I can get the cheaper ones.
Yeah, for post-game content, even though you could get it during the game too, but I guess for post-game content, it baffles me why it's so many coins.
I know. Yeah.
I don't understand that, because what am I going to grind doing? Like, if there was... I know that there are some methods for grinding, but even still, they might take hours to get 1 or 2 costumes.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, to me, I was just like, there's no point in getting these costumes, because it's just a grind.
Mm-hmm.
So, even when they release DLC costumes, you still have to pay coins for that. So I just did not understand the point of that. I guess it's to make you keep playing. I don't know. Maybe you get coins from playing Luigi's Balloon World. I don't know, because I haven't played Luigi's Balloon World.
I think you do. I haven't played it yet, but I think you do.
Okay.
Sure.
I haven't played it because
if you find people's balloons or they don't find yours, I think you get coins. So okay. I think that's how it works.
Okay. Well, I got all of the souvenirs and the purple coins.
Okay.
I pretty much, or I think I did get everything except for the costumes and that last Power Moon. And I think there's also extra Power Moons, because you can purchase maybe 100 from each shop in post-game. So
yep.
I got a bunch of them, but not all of them, because I just don't have enough coins. So I pretty much got everything except for things you get from grinding coins and that last Power Moon. So
okay.
Which is disappointing, kind of. If there were checkpoints in that Darker Side of the Moon challenge, I probably would have done it, but it's just ridiculous. And then I was watching somebody doing like backflips and all this stuff on the rotating platforms that that you need that bird to do, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, how? So I'm just like, oh my god.
Mario is the master of parkour. I've learned
really
that from this
suck
game.
At Mario, I guess.
I know, yeah. I've figured out a few tricks, but a lot of the stuff, like, I have not figured out how to throw Cappy and then jump on him in the air yet. That is probably one of the things I've struggled with the most.
There are a couple of Power Moons that I know at least one that's out of the way, and you don't get it from a warp point. You actually get it from using a frog. And something I didn't know is that when you jump with it, I think if you shake the controller, it jumps higher. So I actually had to look up, like, how the heck do you get this Power Moon? Yeah. And you had to actually, I think, shake the controller when you jump, because then it makes the frog jump higher. So I would have never known that if I hadn't looked it up. So if you're kind of stuck with something, a lot of times you can just shake the controller to see if it gives you an extra move or extra anything with a thing you captured.
Yeah, I found out quickly that it's hard to do a lot of that. Like, a lot of the, like, fun tricks because I've been playing it only handheld mode. I haven't even hooked it to my TV yet. And I saw that the Joy-Con, like the slide-in Joy-Cons, where you slide the sides in, it's like 2 handhelds. That's the way to really play it if you want to do tricks and get everything. Because otherwise you're sitting there flailing your Switch up in the air and stuff. And I was just like, I'm afraid this $300 thing is going to slip out of my hands. So I just have to be careful with it and just kind of flick it up. Like, I was doing that with the Goomba stacks and stuff. That was something I loved. The captures especially were just great. And the Goomba stack was just, when I'm sitting there walking around as 15 Goombas, it's like, I feel powerful. And I love the Tropical Wiggler. I didn't even know that was such a thing. I thought it was just the Wiggler. But I loved that thing. How it could just, like, stretch and then snap. And, of course, the T-Rex, because it's a T-Rex. So I love that.
Yeah. I don't understand why the T-Rex is there. Like,
I know he's just like
a dinosaur area, but it's just so big in a smaller area. It's like, how did you get here?
It's like, that Triceratops is on the cliff face, but why are you here?
Was there a Triceratops aside from the skull?
No, that's what I just meant. The remains of one, and yet the T-Rex is alive and well for some reason.
I don't know if you were in this conversation, but I remember talking with Papagenos and Rick at Ryan about how initially the people in New Donk City, the people in New Donk City looked more like Mario characters and less like actual humans. And I actually like that more because It doesn't make sense otherwise.
It was so jarring.
Mm-hmm.
It really was, because you get Toad, then you got these little the little mariachi guys with the skulls, and then you've got people. It's weird. It's
and it
really
makes you wonder.
jarring.
It makes you wonder where Pauline is from.
I know.
Is this like, are you from New Donk City? Because if the arcade Donkey Kong game took place in New Donk City, then I wonder, is Pauline from New Donk City? And if so, why doesn't she look like the rest of the people there?
Very true. Yeah.
Like, I just didn't understand that choice. Like, oh, let's make them look like real humans. I don't understand.
It was just so jarring. It really took you out of the game. Almost as like, you look so real. It's weird, but and I was because I knew you could possess or capture one person, and when I first got the game, I was like, oh, you can capture anything and everything. Like, you can capture a rock or a dude on the street, but they have specific captures for specific characters, and so I was like, I didn't really like how it was restricted to that, but it made sense. But there were some really cool cameos from characters. Spoiler alert: Yoshi at the very end of the game when you appear in the Mushroom Kingdom and stuff like that. That was awesome. I loved that. And of course, the final part of the game was amazing because there was a cool capture that goes on.
Well, but Odyssey's been out for a little while now. Would you even consider that a spoiler?
It would have been for me. Like, I had the very ending of the game spoiled for me because of the Bowsette meme, and so I didn't. I was like, oh man, I didn't know the ending, but then I didn't know the part before the very ending. I was like, oh, because Mario threw his cat. I was like, oh snap.
I mean, the ending of every Mario game is Mario beats Bowser.
Oh yeah, but
and gets the princess.
I guess it is I guess we can talk about it. If you haven't played Odyssey, I'd skip forward about a minute or two. But man, just being able to capture Bowser himself and play as Bowser was so sick. Awesome. It was so cool. My friend Ethan and I were talking about it. He said, dude, did you played as Bowser? I said, yeah. He's like, that was so cool. I was like, I know. It was just, you're slashing giant rock faces, and it's just so cool.
Did you watch the guy who, I think he Twitch streamed, or somehow streamed himself playing that game blind?
I haven't.
Like, he covered his eyes and played through that game. He must have played through it so much. I think he was a speedrunner, so he, like, knew where things were. So he kind of, knew, like, how many steps to take in certain directions. He still would, like, fall off cliffs and stuff, but he would kind of, like, count the steps. Like, he knew where to go. So he actually beat the game blindfolded. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow. I know that'd be tough on the ice levels with the slippery floor. Goodness, that'd be killer, man. Because you can't really measure steps on that because you're squeaking and sliding everywhere. It's, man, respect to him, because I couldn't do that.
Assuming it wasn't fake, but it looked real. So I don't know.
That is a mesh blindfold, sir.
That's not a blindfold. I couldn't think of a.
I know, right? It's a not blindfold.
That's not a blindfold. It's a space station. Okay, so for me, what have I been playing? I played a little bit more Smash. I got the Sukapon thing finally. So now, as of now, there hasn't been any challenge I haven't been able to beat yet, but I'm sure there's still some more.
Oh yeah, there's. I'll go tell you, Pyro's Spirit is crazy hard. It took me so long. I think I had to cheese it and I either countered or just. I think you just have to grab because what it is, it's Shulk with a fire bar and Lucina with her red alt, and you have to fight both of them. And Shulk has a fire bar, and fire bars start dropping. And if they both get one, you're pretty much done for. So you just have to grab a fire bar and just beat the snot out of them and just keep them off the stage and just hope that they don't recover well.
I wish there was an easier way to get coins in that game.
Yeah, like you get nothing for the spirit battles.
Because I'm trying to buy all the Mii costumes and songs in the shop, and I'm like at the point where I can't buy them now.
Yeah, it's really hard to farm coins in Smash.
The only way I found to get a decent amount of coins is when you play the spirit battles that are the events, because you get extra coins. So you'll get anywhere from like 100 to like 500 coins, and I'm like, that gets me like 1 or 2 me outfits.
And classic mode's a pretty good way to do it too, because you usually get about 250 to 500, maybe more if you do harder. But I mean, you can usually get a decent amount.
Speaking of which, I actually beat 9.9
really
intensity. Yeah, I did it with Ganondorf, and I just like side smashed everything. So I couldn't believe I did it, and I was like, yes, cool, never attempting that again.
Who is his final boss again? Is it Ganon? Does he fight Ganon?
Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
That's right. He fights both. Okay, but yeah, the Ganon boss fight's pretty cool. Yeah. So that'd be weird. It's Ganon fighting Ganon.
Yeah. However, it wouldn't be as weird if it was a different Ganon or Ganondorf, but it really is the same one.
Yeah.
So there's no avoiding it.
Like, you are on the same timeline, sir. I don't know anything about Zelda, but I know that much. That's the same Ganon.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that one is.
Because there's Ganon, Ganondorf, Calamity Ganon, Beast Ganon, right?
Yeah, there's quite a bunch of Ganons.
Because Twilight Princess Ganon is Beast Ganon, but
wait, which one is Beast Ganon?
The Twilight Princess one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I
so
mean, that is the Ocarina of Time Ganon. Just for some reason, he has a different form in that game.
Okay, so it is the same one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I've heard Zelda's timeline is super complicated.
It's the same Ganondorf, but I don't know if it's the same Ganon. Because I'm trying to think of which is in the child timeline and which is the adult timeline. Because in the adult timeline is when Ganondorf turns into Ganon in Ocarina of Time. And then Link beats him and seals him away or the sages or whoever seals him in the Sacred Realm. And then he goes back in time. So that turns into Wind Waker. Okay.
Oh.
And then the other one is when Link goes back in time and he like pretty much warns them of what Ganondorf's plotting. So that turns into Majora's Mask and then Twilight Princess, in which case Ganondorf had not turned into Ganon yet. So I guess for some reason he turns into a different Ganon form. I suppose you can argue that in Ocarina of Time his form comes from, I don't know, 7 years of power from I don't know if he corrupted the Sacred Realm or what happened, but the other one, you could say Beast Ganon, I suppose, got his form from maybe Ganondorf spending time in the Twilight Realm. Plus, I think he was using Xant's body. So it technically wasn't his whole body.
Which could explain the difference in appearance.
Did you play Twilight Princess?
I haven't played a single Zelda game. I hadn't even played Ocarina of Time yet. Twilight Princess was definitely one I want to play, though. That
so
and
there
Majora's
might have
Mask.
been some spoilers in there, but
I'll forget
those
them.
games are they were pretty obscure enough for you to not know what I'm talking about exactly while you're playing it.
Okay.
But I suppose the only big spoiler in there is that Ganondorf possesses Xant, but I don't think he possesses him. I think he kind of allies with him, and then, of course, as usual, he winds up using him, as he uses everyone, because he's Ganon.
Of course.
But, yeah, I would imagine that the explanation, if need be, would be that between using the Twilight Realm and Xant, that his Ganon form took on a different appearance. That's the only thing I could think of. And in terms of other designs, I think it's just the design of the game. I see the design of the game as like the looking glass of the myth, like as if somebody was telling you this legend, but it's coming from a different person, you know. So it's like it's just like a different style of author telling you, but it's the same story. So
it's the same story, just a different recounting of it. So the appearance looks different because the account is different.
Yeah, that's my interpretation of it.
Cool.
That's my headcanon. So I suppose somebody could tell you one thing, and then Like in Ocarina of Time, it's got its own style, but then if you go to Wind Waker, it's cartoony. Well, it's still in the same world, but it's cartoony because I guess that's just the lens you're looking at the adventure from or legend from. So maybe somebody is telling you that story. Not that there's a narrator, but I just kind of see it as if you were reading a book, but it was written by someone else, I guess. So the style's a bit different.
That's a cool theory. That really is.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean, I suppose the equivalent of that in real world would be like you have, let's say, a manga creator he creates the manga, but then like the anime studio, like sometimes they'll share between different studios, so the art looks a little bit different from episode to episode. It's like that's the thing, because it's a different person telling you this story. That's my interpretation. Or in some cases, like a different artist taking over. Like in the case of Naruto, the creator took a back seat as like an editorial role to the series sequel, Boruto. So it's like someone else is drawing it, but it's still the same world. So the style looks a little different. So I don't know. That's my interpretation of the legends. In the Legend of Zelda.
I never knew there was. You said it's Boruto?
Yeah.
I never knew there was a sequel to Naruto. I thought it was just like the same Naruto series continued. He just like grew up. So there's like
it's the same. Well, it is a sequel. It's a continuation, but it's a different title now. And it focuses mainly on his son.
Okay.
But I mean, the characters from the initial series are still in there, and they'll focus on them from time to time. But the actual main character is the son, and it really focuses more on his adventure.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, we'll go into our anime tangent. Other than whatever it was I was talking about that I don't remember. Oh, we were talking about Smash Bros. So other than that, I picked up Kingdom Hearts Union Cross again on my phone because Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. And I want to get that Starlight Keyblade that I can put into Kingdom Hearts 3, where you get by doing the mini games. So I've got almost all the scores for the mini games, and I'm still playing SEGA Heroes, but it does annoy me from time to time, and part of me doesn't understand why I'm still playing it. It's just so like there's things in there that just, the decisions in there annoy me a bit. And I spoke about a lot of it with Papagenos in one of our previous episodes. But one of the things that bothers me is just if you want to get like certain tokens to try to get certain characters, some of the tokens you can't get unless you're a certain rank in the arena, and you get to those ranks by beating other players' teams, and some people's teams are really strong. So then I figured, okay, well, I'll just continue working on leveling up, and then maybe I'll get a higher rank, and I'll get those coins. And so as I got stronger, the opponents got stronger, and I don't know if it's the game trying to find people, like purposefully trying to find people stronger than you, or if everybody else playing it is leveling up as well. So maybe it's a mix of both, but
probably, yeah.
But I just feel like there's no catching up. Like there's a difficulty spike or difficulty curve in that game where it's a little more difficult and a little less fun at times. And so I'm still playing it because I want to see what's going to happen. Like, if I'm going to unlock the characters I want, like, over time, are they going to make it a bit easier? Or if I find myself in the same situation, I'll probably stop playing it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am with Crash Bandicoot right now. Because when I sat down and played the game for a few hours, and I got to about the 5th level, I was like, dude, I'm not having fun. I'm raging so hard. I just had to put it down. I haven't touched it since. I will pick it up again eventually because I've heard that the first game is ridiculously hard. The other two aren't as bad. So I want to get through the first one just so I can enjoy the other two. But at this point, it's just like I got Smash and Odyssey, and I gotta play Ocarina of Time, and I gotta finish Starlink, and I still gotta finish Donkey Kong Country. So, and it just there's a lot of stuff to do and play catch up on, and I just Crash has kind of been pushed to the back burner right now, and of course, video making and stuff really eats up time. So, kind of have to choose. That's one thing I'm learning. It's like when I go home from work, I have to choose if I'm gonna play my Switch or work on videos, and you got to find the happy balance along with stuff around the house that you're working on.
There was about a week or a little over a week where I didn't play any video games because I was doing some art or some other stuff on the computer. So, like, the first time I played video games in a while was over the weekend. I was like, wow, I haven't played Smash in so long. But we should start talking about a couple of things coming out soon or some news, as well as the Brave, quote-unquote Brave thing. This week, Friday, is Resident Evil 2. I know you don't care about it, but I'm excited for it. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition, but then I found out the other day that Best Buy offers the deluxe edition, but in addition to that, it also offers a steelbook case. And I was like, I do want that steelbook case. So I may go to Best Buy and just see if they have the deluxe edition, because I don't know if it needs to be, like, I don't know if they'll have it in stock. I don't know how in demand it is or not. So if they have it there, I'll get it. If they don't, then I'll just, I guess, get it from GameStop and, I don't know, maybe find the steelbook on eBay or something if it's not expensive. So, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 is next week, right?
Woo-woo! Yep.
I cannot wait. Oh, man, people are trying to leak that game and spoil things. I've just been trying to stay away.
Really?
But let me tell you, when I'm on YouTube, I'll see like a thumbnail, and it'll be like Kingdom Hearts 3 leaked ending. I'm just like, damn it, because like you see a screenshot, and I'm just like, why would you do that? You know, why would you show like part of the ending in a thumbnail?
Yeah, it is aggravating, dude. Because it was annoying. Like that with Smash, because people were leaking pictures of World of Light and stuff, and I was like, no, I want to be surprised.
The difference is Kingdom Hearts 3 is very story heavy. So most of the things you show, especially something in the ending, is going to be a major story spoiler. Whereas Smash, it's more like it's not story heavy. So when you leak stuff from the story, it's kind of like, oh, that's a boss, or I'm going to fight that character. So I guess the impact of the spoiler isn't as big because Smash isn't known for its story. It's known for,
that is true,
you know.
Yeah.
However, there are some story things in there that obviously I'm not going to spoil, but there are some, I guess, big spoilers in World of Light, but I feel like they still don't compare to like spoiling the ending of Kingdom Hearts or something.
That is true.
You know?
That is true. Yeah.
That's like spoiling the end of a Star Wars movie, and because that is story heavy, you know?
Yep. It's like spoiling Star Wars compared to spoiling an episode of SpongeBob. So it's just
yeah. It's like
the impact is not nearly as great.
SpongeBob's not story heavy; it's more comedy focused. Not that it doesn't have a story, but you know what I mean. So
it's more episodic than anything anyway. So I mean,
thankfully, the thumbnails I've seen, and it's not like I'm searching for them; they just show up in my recommended or something. So thankfully, the thumbnails I see are usually the same, or like of the same thing. So I'm hoping that that's not the whole ending, or just maybe I'm getting lucky, or people are just only spoiling that. So and it's not like. It's not something I wouldn't have expected, so I'm not too disappointed, because I probably would have been disappointed. Like, I'm a little relieved to see the thumbnail that I saw, because then I'm like, okay, good, that works out. But then, like, I suppose the opposite, if I had played the game and that wasn't in the ending, I would have been disappointed. So it's not like a giant spoiler in the sense where, like, I would have never expected it. But it's more like a spoiler in, like, this is what's gonna, like, that's gonna happen. And you're like, oh, okay. So, yeah. And you can tell I'm trying my hardest not to spoil it. But, yeah, it's annoying because I don't want to see anything, you know?
Yeah, man. I've somehow managed to avoid anything for Kingdom Hearts, which I haven't been watching any Kingdom Hearts stuff anyway, so that's probably part of it.
I've been watching I've seen the trailers when they release them because I assume they're not gonna spoil big story moments in the trailers, and any story they show is gonna be more of a tease than a spoiler.
Yeah, like Donald dropping, like, wait, what? Is Donald dead? Like, stuff like that. I'm like,
because the last trailer had like a moment in there where, I guess like some impactful thing that happens with a bunch of the characters, and then like Sora says some statement, and then Riku's like, "Oh, I believe in you," or something like that, and that was just like a nice tease for like a major story point, and I was like, "Oh God, I can't wait to play this." So like what? And I'm not gonna say specifics in case people like yourself who don't want to watch trailers because they just want everything to be fresh. But
I've watched some of the trailers. Yeah.
Okay, but
I'm not watching the trailers.
Yeah, but I'm purposely being vague because I know there are some people who just don't want to see anything. So, but yeah, there's like a moment in, I think the last trailer they put out that I suppose can be a little spoilery, but not so bad, and it's more so a tease than a spoiler in my opinion. But I'll just refrain from speaking about that because I don't want to spoil it, you know?
Yeah. I honestly do wish that I had refrained from watching the videos because they show so much cool stuff. I was like, man, why did I ruin this already? Like, it makes me more hyped for it, but at the same time, I know what's going to happen. I know what characters are going to be active in the story and stuff. Like, obviously, I want to know which worlds are in, and I'm thrilled that Toy Story and Tangled and Frozen and Monsters, Inc. and Big Hero 6 are going to be worlds. But at the same time, it would have been like going in it completely fresh, knowing what the worlds were, but the dialogue and the story and all that, you don't know what's going to happen. So it just, it's like cool, but I know what's happening. So
now, did you play all of the games?
Oh no, I've only played 2 all the way through. I played Chain of Memories. I got to Riku Ansem and got stuck and have not picked it up in years.
Was it Chain of Memories on the PS2 or Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance?
Chain of Memories on the Game Boy.
Okay, because that was actually really difficult. That specific part.
It was hard. It was hard.
All I remember from that battle on the Game Boy Advance was submit, 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 submit. And Ansem just keeps attacking you.
But I remember that Maleficent boss fight on there. Whoo, that was tough. I was easily there 30 to 45 minutes. Just like I jump forward, slash, jump back, heal, jump forward, slash, jump back. And you just have to chip away because she's got 2 health bars. And in that game, they're like little ticks when you hit them. So, but that was a fun game. The graphics look really good, especially for a Game Boy game. But those are the only 2 games I played all the way through. Well, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the only one I played all the way through. I played some of Kingdom Hearts, got to Tarzan's World, haven't touched it since my brother had it.
So the beginning of the game.
Yeah, the game is hard. That game is so tough. I was dying to those Monkey Heartless like 3 hits. I was like, oh my goodness. And I've just watched my brother
running for most of the battles.
Huh?
Were you running for most of the battles?
Not really. I was trying to build up some experience, but they hand you your butt on a silver platter in those games. Especially that Clayton battle. I watched my brother play Kingdom Hearts all the way through. I watched him play Captain Hook, Ursula, Clayton, all those guys and girls. And I was just like, dude, this game's so hard. And then you fight Ansem at the end, and he's just like a ship. And I was like, bro, what the heck? And so he's playing Birth by Sleep right now. I'm watching him play that.
Okay.
And just kind of refreshing our memories before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
Now, what I would recommend, and I said this to Papaginos and Ryan too, is in one of our previous episodes.
That synopsis video.
Yeah, the synopsis video. I would highly recommend watching the synopsis video as well as the Kingdom Hearts key synopsis video.
Okay.
So watch those.
My brother downloaded the Kingdom Key too, or Union Cross or whatever it is.
Yeah. But that's what key is.
Okay.
So, basically, the way Key and Union Cross are, is Key is what happened, and then Unchained Key, is a retelling of it, and there's a story reason why it's retold, and there's a story reason why they skip over the war. and that's because the people who participate in the war, or like the people who survived rather from the war, get placed in not an illusion, but they get placed in data worlds and they relive the events of up until the war, and then the new foretellers, they kind of skip that, so they're kind of making everybody believe that the war never happened. So the reason why they actually have a story reason for retelling Key as Unchained Key, which is neat. And at first, I was a little annoyed that they didn't go through the war, especially because America didn't get that. And but then you could see the cutscenes online, and then so basically, Key leads into Unchained Key, which is a false yet true retelling of Key from your character's perspective, who is remembering events correctly up until the war, where it never happens in his memories. And then Union Cross takes place after the war. So it's kind of like showing the foretellers discussing things, as well as the new foretellers, rather, as well as the events in the data worlds. And the whole point is they're trying to treat the unions differently than the previous foretellers, whereas instead of making them different factions, they're trying to promote cooperation amongst the factions, which is where Union Cross comes in, because the unions are crossing, like working together. So it's both a story reason and, I suppose, a gameplay reason, because that's how the multiplayer works, is you're playing with a lot of people. So it's neat. So it's like Key leads into Unchained Key, which in and of itself is a retelling of Key, as well as a slightly different outcome, and then Union Cross is the continuation. So and I believe that video that goes over the events of that game/games discusses that. So, because there were some things that I either forgot or didn't know. I think I didn't know initially, because I was under the assumption that they just told the story differently when it got to the mobile phone. I was like, did they skip the war? Like, that's important. And then I found out why. It's like the whole point is the foretellers want people to forget the war happened, to pretend it didn't happen. So I'm like, oh, that's neat. So, because there will be flashbacks, like your character will remember stuff from the war, and it'll show flashbacks from the mobile browser or the browser game Key. And it's like, well, this didn't happen in the cell phone game. And that's why, because the cell phone game is, you're playing like the retelling of it, literally. So it sounds confusing, but the video that I linked explains it. The only thing it doesn't go through are the individual stories of each world, but they're kind of not important, because the way it works is the Book of Prophecies takes like aspects of the future, and it was building fake worlds. So I don't know if it was the book itself or the way it was set up for the book to be used. So like the worlds you go to are actually fake. And the reason characters like Aladdin and Cinderella and stuff from 100 years later, or however many years later, exists in there is because they're fake. They're illusions made by the book. So, and then in Unchained Key, when you're playing in a data version of it, you're basically playing data world versions of illusions. So it's like wow.
In the entire Kingdom Hearts series, Cinderella, Aladdin, Belle and Beast, none of them actually exist?
No, they do. It's just in the mobile game, in the hundreds of years ago, the reason why those characters look the same age is because it's taking from the future. It's like it's creating an illusion based on the future. Or future events.
Kind of like how Chain of Memories was just Sora, Donald, and Goofy reliving the people they met in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. However, in this case, it's reliving events from the future.
That's so
I
weird.
suppose. Yeah, it is. And I guess it was
Oh, man.
whatever it was whatever they came up with in order to explain how you're playing through these events. Because how else would you play through Disney worlds like hundreds of years
Very
in the
true.
past?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's just unfortunately slightly complicated as a result.
Mhm.
And I guess that's what you have to deal with when you're dealing with using Disney movies, and I guess you either don't have the license to or right to explore 100 years prior in each Disney world.
Yeah, the only way they really have ever showed aging in the Disney worlds is in Birth by Sleep when Terra meets young Hercules, and then you go to Kingdom Hearts, and Hercules is a full-blown jacked adult. So
And
that's the only time that, and of course the Tron Legacy world and stuff.
Yeah.
But they really haven't done that with most Disney worlds because there's really not a lot to go off of besides the movies and stuff that kind of fits into the narrative of the story, like Scar becoming a Heartless, etc.
Which makes me wonder why, unless it did and I completely forgot, why in Birth by Sleep you never visited the Pride Lands when Simba was a child, because in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you visited him he was already grown up.
That would have been so cool, dude. That would have been so sick.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out how you could have left it off, because it's kind of a cliffhanger where Simba runs away. But I suppose there could have been some kind of giant battle during the Stampede.
Yeah.
And I suppose, like, Mufasa could have aided you in the battle, and then, it would have showed, either it would have showed or implied or not shown, Scar killing Mufasa, and then, like, it might have left off after the battle, like, just kind of a quick wrap up, like, oh, we don't know where Simba is, but Mufasa, he died or whatever.
Yeah.
So that would have been cool, because then going in, oh, this continues in Kingdom Hearts 2, because Birth by Sleep came out after Kingdom Hearts 2, despite taking place before it.
Yep.
So it would have been neat if they threw that in there, but they didn't. So
yeah.
But you know them; they're always making prequels and interquels, so they can always throw that in one day. However, it could have also been the fact that I know they wanted to have the Pride Lands in Kingdom Hearts 1, but they had trouble getting the 4-leg system to work, and then they got it to work for Kingdom Hearts 2. So going into Birth by Sleep on the PSP, maybe they couldn't support that.
Okay. Kind of like how the Ice Climbers couldn't work on the 3DS because it was a handheld.
That's what I'm wondering. Because maybe it was on the writer table or whatever you call it.
Okay. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I'm wondering. But
yeah.
Anyway, before we get into Elamam the Alpha's comments, because he's the only one who had them, I wanted to see what you think of Brave now that 2 weeks have passed and people are now starting to suspect it's Sora. And did you see Ike with those assets on him?
I did.
What do you think?
I did. I think it's Sora, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way in heck that is Erdrick jumping around like that. I saw how agile he was and his running and stuff. I was like, dude, that is Sora. That is Sora. Holy cow. I haven't kept up with it that much because, again, Odyssey. Yeah. But so people really do think it's Sora now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I don't want to get my hopes up because that's gonna be someone like Sephiroth and be like, whoa, that's cool too, but it's not Sora. I did
see somebody mention it being Geno because of the way almost like a body would act like a puppet, because it's heavier when it falls and it kind of is floaty as if it was getting dragged around. And the way someone described it made sense to me.
I've heard people bring up Geno's name, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I can see it being Geno, but I don't know where the word Brave would come in for being Geno.
Yeah.
So because
he's not really the hero of Super Mario RPG anyway. That's Mario and stuff. He's just kind of along for the ride. So
it would be neat if the the Geno action figure in the Super Mario RPG series was a part of a series that had Brave in its name, and people were like overlooking that all this time.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But
I wouldn't mind Geno one bit. Of
No,
any
I wouldn't.
Square Enix character besides Sora, Geno would be awesome. It's just I have more sentimental attachment to Sora.
Oh yeah,
just because
me too.
I love Sora.
Here's-
But he,
Well, no, go ahead.
it makes me excited that he actually has a chance now that this is very much a reality possibly. And it's funny because, the 7 characters leaked and everybody was like, every single leaker was saying Sora isn't it. Sora is not that character. You can just write him out now. I was like, y'all think so. After I saw that footage of Ike running, I was like, y'all doubt my boy. Like I said, I don't want to give him hopes up because it's going to be Shantae all over again. But holy crap, if it is Sora, I'm going to lose my mind. Especially if he's the second DLC character, dude. Can you imagine who's going to follow that? Banjo and Kazooie? Scorpion? Amazing. Master Chief? Who knows, man?
Y'all doubt my boy.
My boy.
You said that.
My boy, Guzma.
That's funny. Y'all doubt my boy.
But it really is exciting to think about that. If this actually is happening, that Disney and Square were both all like, okay, yeah, you guys can have Sora. It promotes
their series.
Yeah, I mean, and like it's fan service and it's a smart business move on all 3 of their parts because they're gonna make so much money. And he's just I can't wait. I can't.
Now
I'm excited for Plant too.
Here's where I stand on it between Sora versus Geno in terms of wanting one over the other. I feel like because Sora is more relevant, it's way easier to negotiate getting him in as DLC. So part of me hopes it's Geno. This way we could get Geno and then potentially Sora. Whereas if we get Sora, I feel like we're never going to get Geno.
That is very true.
Unless this is like the test, this is like the placebo test. What's the term? The trial run to see how DLC goes, and if it goes well, then they'll be like, okay, let's just do a fan service one with all the characters people wanted, and Geno's going to be number 1. So I feel like if something like that happens, Geno would get in because then Square would see, hey, people will buy our characters no matter who it is. So I feel like this is just kind of possibly, let's get all these crazy, awesome characters that sell games. And then if DLC goes well, we sell fan service characters like Rayman, Geno, Shantae, Banjo and Kazooie, etc. So that's what I'm hoping for because I don't think this will be the only DLC pack. I highly doubt it. I doubt it a bit too.
Yeah.
But the true question is if we would get another Square DLC.
Very true. This would only be our second one if it is Sora. So, Capcom has 3, Sega has 3, Konami's got 3. It would make sense. I'm still waiting on a Namco rep, Lloyd, Agumon, somebody, because I would love to see someone else get rep for Namco because they helped make the game, and we need some more Namco characters.
And you know what?
Because there's some cool characters.
This actually perfectly transitions into what El Mami Alpha said. So,
before we do, apparently Piranha Plant is actually scheduled for February.
Yes, true.
Sometime. So I'm excited for that. I'm glad we finally have a confirmation on the release date because I want Plant now.
And random piece of info that I meant to mention before.
Okay.
Pokemon GO is having a Swinub community day, whereas during the amount of time of that community day where Swinub is the Pokemon, I think only during then you can use the Sinnoh Stone to evolve Piloswine into Mamoswine, or is it the other way around? So, if you want to get your Mamoswine, save up on Sinnoh Stones or get at least one Sinnoh Stone to use, and on the community day, don't forget to use it on Piloswine. So, that's what I wanted to say.
Is there an increased chance for shiny Swinub to show up?
That I'm not sure. Usually every community day there's shinies, and I kind of skimmed it, so I didn't notice the word shiny, but it's possible. I didn't notice. So,
okay. But I was just curious because I knew that was kind of a trending thing. They either had a special move like Blast Burn, or
it will have a special move. if you evolve it into Mamoswine, it will have an exclusive move, it says. So, and I'm assuming
Does
that's
it tell you
Ancient
what it
Power.
is, or?
No, but I'm assuming it's going to be Ancient Power or whatever the move is in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Cause,
Ancient Power,
yeah. Because it needs a move to turn into Mamoswine, so it would make sense for it to learn said move. But anyway, so this is actually something Omni Alpha said 3 weeks ago, and the reason I didn't get to it sooner was because I didn't notice until a week ago that it was marked in spam. So I figured let's hit this now because I think he didn't actually say anything else. So we have something new to talk about. So 3 weeks ago, Omni Alpha says there are still rules. Joker doesn't break anything. The rules for third parties, according to Sakurai, are 1. Originate from a video game. 2. Have at least one appearance on a Nintendo system. Joker has Persona Q 2 on the 3DS. And 3. Be a main character. That's it. Everything else was made by fans. However, there are potentially 2 hidden rules depending on how Ultimate's DLC ends. 1A must have an appearance in their main series. 1B must be owned by a Japanese company. I'm mostly hyped for Joker because he's an Atlus rep and I love that company. Atlus, I don't know if I've played any of their games now that I think about it.
I haven't played it because they make Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and a couple other games I know, but I haven't played any of them.
So he has a few theories based on consistent theme with Joker, as Reggie claims. Every third party ends with 3 characters. Let's see, Joker being Sega's third, and why Shadow didn't get in. Erdrick Dragon Quest.
That is a good point. That could be why Shadow missed it. Man. Oh well.
I guess he's saying that Bayonetta is the second one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Platinum, if I'm not mistaken, is under the Sega umbrella or something like that. Or she was partially made by Sega. I forget how that works, but she's associated with Sega. So.
Then he says Erdrick from Dragon Quest, Yuri from Tales, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, and Agumon from Digimon. I don't see why Lara Croft would be on there. Was she on a Nintendo system?
As far as I know, no. She's mostly been a PlayStation star.
However, he says, these are for the rules that he put in, and this is a theory based on it. So I guess she might have made some kind of appearance on the Nintendo system. I just don't know what.
Yeah, I've never known of a Tomb Raider game on a Nintendo console. If there is, let us know in the comments because I've never known of one. That would be cool. I think Laura is absolutely deserving. She's one of the leading ladies of gaming, right up there with Samus and Peach. I wouldn't mind a bit if she got in. I just think she would be an odd pick over characters that are more associated more associated with Nintendo than her. So, and this comes from the guy who loves Master Chief and wanted Master Chief, but hey, man can dream.
And just a note, since this was 3 weeks ago, that's probably why he mentioned Erdrick instead of Sora. Yeah. However, some people still think it's Erdrick, so who knows what's going to happen. And another thing I want to note is that people always say Lara Croft, but I'm pretty sure it's Lara, like Lara.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure.
But everybody says
Laura. If it's Laura, it'd be Laura.
Yeah.
So.
Then he says B, this is another of his theories, every big company involved is getting a character in Ultimate. Lara Croft for Tomb Raider, Square Rep. Oh, she's a Square Rep? I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, the remake of the franchise where she looks like more realistic, that's a Square.
So did Square license it, or did they buy Tomb Raider?
I don't know if they bought the rights or if they're just licensing it under the Square umbrella. I don't know if they bought the license because originally she was from some kind of American company, if I'm not mistaken, or British company, which probably would be British because she's British. But I'm not sure what she was originally owned by. But as far as I know, she is a Western character. As far as I know.
Okay. Well, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Square Rep. Agumon from Digimon, a Bandai Namco rep. Ezio from Assassin's Creed, a Ubisoft rep. And Shantae from Shantae, a WayForward rep. Well, that would be awesome because Shantae's in there. So.
Of course.
And I do like Digimon, so...
Yeah. Agumon would be so cool. I'm not gonna lie. I would love that so much.
Now, would his final smash be turning into Greymon, or would it... Actually, you know what? It would make more sense for him to turn into War Greymon, because in the anime he warp digivolves into Greymon, War Greymon.
Yeah.
So I could see Agumon's final smash being War Greymon.
Plus, he's not like as ridiculously huge as Greymon, which I always found funny. It's his final form, but it's like a third the size of Greymon and Metal Greymon. So, but yeah, he's like itty bitty tiny man compared to what he could be. Yeah. But yeah, he would be so cool, and we could finally have Pikachu versus Agumon. Yeah. And then or Charizard versus Agumon. So
yeah. And then his third theory, C, rewards for collaboration. Joker was for Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Luminary from Dragon Quest to get them to come back for Smash. Ezio from Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft rep for Kingdom Battle. Spyro from Skylanders, Skylanders crossover with Bowser and DK, and Ryu Hayabusa, Ninja Gaiden, Koei Tecmo character for Hyrule Warriors. And that also makes sense. So, so those are some interesting theories that I could get behind, especially because Shantae's in there. But I still want to see Banjo-Kazooie and either Sora or Geno, or both. Both would be amazing. You
never know, man. Hey.
And I have no attachment to Geno. I just think he's a cool character. And from hearing the hype from Papagenos' channel and from him for so long, now I want Geno in because, he just seems like he'd be cool. So.
Same dude. Over time, he's just become one of those characters that, alongside King K. Rool, you just were like, okay, next Smash game, Geno's going to be in. I never thought Ridley would be in, but I figured King K. Rool would be in the next game. And I said this in one of my old Smash discussion videos. There were only two characters I was really expecting for this game, and that was K. Rool and Geno. And, of course, we got one of the two, and I was still shocked when Geno was not playable. I mean, I know the licensing thing, and I know he's one character from a spin-off game from 20 years ago, but, man, there's been so many characters, it's like, they don't belong in Smash, but they're in Smash, i.e. Piranha Plant and Rob and all these other obscure characters, Ice Climbers, and I love Ice Climbers, but they're so out there.
But at least they're owned exclusively by Nintendo and not shared.
That is true.
If Nintendo owned Geno, then I feel like we would have seen him already.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't buy him years ago, man. Like, that would be the perfect, man.
Why didn't they buy Rare after Microsoft?
Yep. Exactly. We could have had Banjo and Smash 15 years ago.
We could have had a true Banjo 3, which I'm still waiting for. But at this point, I wouldn't buy an Xbox.
You will take your nuts and bolts.
So I would have to watch a playthrough. Yeah, I did enjoy nuts and bolts to an extent, but following up after the previous Banjo-Kazooie games, I did not enjoy it as much. It kind of started to wear off its welcoming after the intro. After a little bit.
That's kinder words than I've heard some people give it. So.
And when I got into the first world, after a little bit, it just, you can see it was empty. And I think JonTron said it best when they most likely were building these worlds for a Banjo 3E, and then just decide, they never finished it, and they put kart racing around it, so the levels are very empty.
Oh man, yeah, that's lame.
And there are sections in the worlds where you can be like, this probably was gonna be something, and instead it's just like an empty area. So it really is a shame. So
yeah, a missed opportunity for sure, because I know that's a very beloved game series, man. So here's hoping that they come alongside a Switch exclusive Banjo 3 collaboration with Microsoft and Nintendo. That would be sick. So
and then he asks,
and there's still the rare spirits. You never know.
Yeah, true. And then he asks something that I'm not sure what he's referring to. He says, "How does Joker equal Banjo?" And this must have been something we discussed 3 weeks ago, because I'm not quite sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, I've watched the video that you're talking about, but I don't remember what part that is, because I remember you guys talking about the Sega game and all that stuff, but I don't remember what he's talking about. But
I don't know. And then he says, again, I don't understand why, quote, Nintendo not wanting to give their direct competition money for, let's be real, a dead franchise that won't boost sales, end quote, is such a shocking idea. Because let's face it, no one is skipping Ultimate just because Banjo's not in it, and only people who want him are buying it anyway. Steve would at least get people to buy Switch and Smash who wouldn't without him, because even if the Smash community doesn't want him, he would bring in a lot of people currently not interested, similar to Fortnite. I don't know. Isn't there Minecraft on the Switch? So
there is.
The fans of Steve/Minecraft would have already gotten the Switch for Minecraft.
Yeah.
Unless they play it on PC.
True. Which there is cross-play, so I mean, you wouldn't really need to buy a Switch to play Minecraft with people on the Switch. I get it makes sense in theory, but at the same time, Microsoft has Minecraft on every console already, so I wouldn't really see the incentive to buy a Switch when you can already play with people. I mean, unless you want to play it on the go, which you can already do on the 3D. So I don't know. Well, I see the argument for both things. It's like it makes sense as a business move, but at the same time, it doesn't because it's already on all the consoles. So,
well, here's an argument that I don't know how big or how good or bad of an argument it is, but if people who play Minecraft might not be interested in playing as Steve or in getting Smash because it's a completely different type of game.
Exactly, yeah.
Those people might not be interested in a fighting game.
But that's the difference with, like,
I don't know.
That'd be the difference with Steve over someone like Shantae, Sora, Gino, or whatever, because you actually use them in those games, especially Shantae, Sora, Banjo, all those characters, because you play as them, you use their movesets to their full advantage in their games, and if they put them in Smash, they'd be using that exact same moveset, whereas with Steve, the exploration's the main thing about Minecraft, and you take the avatar character and plop him in Smash Bros. It ain't Minecraft. It's Steve in Smash. It's not Minecraft in Smash. It's not the magic of Minecraft that people love, the mining and the killing the creepers and stuff. It's just your avatar character in Smash.
That's like as if some okay, well, Smash isn't an unknown fighting game. It's already popular enough that it doesn't need characters from series to sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
there's just like incentives to buy it more.
Now, because that's like saying games like Indie Pogo and stuff, where I have no idea because I haven't actually played them, so I don't know if they're good or bad or not. But that's like saying, oh, you're totally gonna buy it because like Shovel Knight's in the game. It's like, I don't really want to play a game that I'm not like too into, and I don't know. I don't know anything about Indie Pogo. I'm just using it as an example, whereas, yes, it's a nice incentive, but I don't see adding a character from another franchise necessarily as a game seller. I see it more as an incentive.
And it's nice fan service, but I love Shovel Knight, but I'm not going to go out and buy Blade Strangers and Indie Pogo and all these other games just because he's in them. Right. If you get those games, and it's like, oh, I love Shantae and Shovel Knight, then you can buy Blaster Master Zero and buy the DLC with them in there too. And it's like, oh, cool, I have all these indie characters in this one indie game, and it's awesome. It's not the incentive to just buy the game simply because there's a $3 DLC to get Shantae or Shovel Knight in the game instead of the base game. It just, I understand the argument, but at the same time, I don't, because it's kind of counterintuitive because why would you put them in the game to get people to buy the game if they wouldn't buy it in the first place, because it's not said game they're putting the character from in that game. So it just I know I'm confusing it, but basically the argument is, for me at least, why would you push people to buy a game that's completely different from the game that the character from the game they're playing is from Smash? It doesn't make sense. And I know I don't make sense with what I'm saying, but
it makes sense.
It just but like I said, and again, I feel like the character themselves should matter more than the franchise they're from. I mean, you don't add Mario because he is Mario. You add him because he's Mario. I mean, he's the face of Nintendo. He is the icon of Nintendo. You don't add him because, oh, his games sell well. You add him because he is an iconic character that people love. And obviously because if you didn't put Mario in Smash, it would be a crime against humanity. But you
I
add
mean,
other
certainly
characters,
Captain Falcon's not selling any.
very true.
You know.
Captain Falcon, Ice Climbers, Simon and Richter. All these characters have been dead for years, and they're in Smash. I mean, and of course, there's the whole, Ice Climbers and Pit, well, not Pit really, because Kid Icarus Uprising, but all these old characters, they're from dead franchises, but they're Nintendo. But then you got Simon and Richter, who haven't really had a good game in decades, and they're in Smash. So I do get tired of the fan arguments, because every time we have these rules set, they get crushed and just blown out of the water every time. Now, I still don't think that Goku or Shrek or anyone like that is getting a Smash. That's ridiculous. But I do think that at this point, any video game character has a shot, and I mean that. I mean that wholeheartedly, because Sakurai has continued to surprise us, and I honestly am tired of just setting rules, because every time we do, they just get upended. I mean, who would have expected a piranha plant to be in Smash Bros? I mean, Sakurai's going to do whatever the heck he wants, and we just got to sit down for the ride, because he's always surprising us.
And I think that it's possible that statistics show that it sells games, but I'm just talking from my experience. And you too, I'm assuming.
I mean, because I don't buy Smash. I mean, I was going to buy Smash regardless of if Shovel Knight, Shantae, Banjo and Kazooie, King K. Rool, any of these characters I wanted weren't in, because everyone is here. Everybody's back. I can play as Pichu, Wolf, Ice Climbers, all these characters I've loved for years. But then you got more like Isabelle, King K. Rool, Ridley, that's like, oh, this is more incentive to buy this game. It just adds on to the goodness that is Smash. And I feel like that's what DLC is. I don't think it should ever be to sell Switches. It should ever be to, just sell a franchise. It should be because these are characters people love and connect with. And because the characters themselves are fun and have great movesets. It shouldn't be because Minecraft sells a lot. The Persona 5 won a video game award. I don't think it should ever be about, almost the bragging rights of the game. It should be about what the character brings to Smash and what the character means to people. And so that's why I'm such an adamant supporter for characters like Shantae and Banjo and Geno, because they have such followings among Smash fans and video game fans, man. It just, I can't not support characters like that, especially over characters like, I mean, Scorpion and Sans. I mean, I think Sans would be cool, honestly. I would love a Megalovania remix. Holy cow. But I don't know. I mean, Undertale is very impactful, but again, the whole main character thing kind of would mean Frisk, and again, kind of like Steve, kind of just a blank canvas. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. But I'm going to cut myself off. But basically my point is just, we should want characters because they would have something to bring to Smash besides just the name of their franchise they're from. So, but I'm a hush now. So.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today. Was there anything else you want to say?
Just that it's good to be back. We're trying to stay steady, guys. I know we're all busy, but
and we do have some ideas to not necessarily expand the show, but expand the whatever you call this. Like, we had some other... I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't know if we're going to go through with it or not, but we did have ideas that we're kind of trying to do with Wreck-It Ryan and maybe Papa Gino's to bring some other things to the channel. So we'll see if those go through.
Come to fruition.
Thank you. I was like, let's see if they something or other. And the only thing I wanted to end off on was apparently the hashtag Shantae for Smash was trending on Twitter.
Really?
Or something along Shantae for Smash or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Cool.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, Alpha, they could find you in the description, I guess, because, I'm just going to put all the links in the description anyway. So
I'm here on YouTube, that site you're watching. So.
Yeah, and if you want to follow me, just click like and subscribe and whatever. But other than that, if you follow my comic Spirit Legend on Tapas.io, I will give you a shout out, and nobody's been doing it, so come on, be the first.
You want a shout out.
Yeah, you want a shout out. Alrighty, so I guess that's it. We will hopefully speak to everybody next week, and maybe Papa Gino's and Record Ryan will join us. Let's hope for something.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Submit, 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 submit.